The oars are stored lying on the thwarts. One thing to keep in mind is that the blade always heads towards the front of the boat and handles will point towards the back of the boat. The reason for that will become clear in a few moments. The first command you're going to hear is ready oars. When you hear the command ready oars, you will grab an oar. You will carefully, without hitting in too many people in the head, lift the oar straight up and put it in front of you, like this. This is ready oars. Okay? The next command you're going to hear is set oars. So when you hear the command set oars, there's two ways you can do this. The most common way is people will basically put the oar in the water, it floats, and just throw it out, and you pull it through the oar port like this. These particular spruce oars are narrow enough that you can also just slide it through this way. But you can have a tendency to knock the guy next to you in the head when you do that, so you have to be a little bit more careful. Okay, so that is set oars. So once the oar is set, you're automatically in a position called hold oars. Okay, when you hear the command hold oars, you will hold the oar out of the water and you will have the blade parallel to the water. So this is hold oars. The companion, and this is like being in neutral. Okay, we put the car in neutral, put the boat in neutral. We're just drifting along. So if we want to put the brakes on, you will hear the command hold water. When you hear the command hold water, you'll want the blade perpendicular to the water, and you want to put it into the water and just hold it. You should hear it vibrating, feel it vibrating if we're moving. This is putting the brakes on. This is hold water. Okay? Hold oars, hold water. Okay? Now, the next command you're going to hear is give way. You're going to hear give way all, everybody starts rowing, or you're going to hear the command give way starboard or give way port, in which case the persons on that side of the ship will start rowing. Two things to keep in mind at this point are starboard side and port side. Okay, the starboard side is the side that has the steer board. The steer board is how we steer the ship. Steer board became starboard, and that's why we call it the starboard side. So if you look straight for you ahead, and you see the person, you see the steering board on your side of the vessel, you're on the starboard side. If you don't see it on your side, you're on the port side. Okay? Also remember, you're facing backwards. The front of the boat is this way. So if that's the front of the boat, and I'm sitting in a boat like this, what side of the boat am I on? Anybody want to guess?
Starboard.
Starboard side. Okay. So we hear the command, give way. In this case, maybe give way starboard. Okay, what you're going to do, you're going to push the oar away from you. You're going to put it in the water, hold it, and then you're going to pull the oar towards you with the oar while the oar's in the water. Okay? This is rowing. Okay? This is give way. Give way starboard, give way port, give way all. Okay? That's putting her in drive. Now if we want to put her in reverse, you're going to hear the command backwater. Backwater is the opposite. You're going to pull the oar towards you, you're going to put it in the water, and then you're going to push it away from you. Okay? It should feel awkward. If it feels awkward, you're doing it right. Okay? That is backwater. This is give way, and this is backwater. Everybody see the difference? Okay. Now what happens sometimes, especially when we have a lot of big beefy guys and they want to show off their manliness, and they'll be rowing really hard, and somebody who isn't able to keep up, we're going to get a situation where the oar gets pulled into the water and gets caught by the water. We call that catching a crab. Okay? If this happens to you, you're going to yell out, crab! Everybody else, when you hear the word crab, will stop rowing and go to the hold oars position. The person who is having the problem will throw their body over the oar and use their whole body to push it out of the water. As the ship slows down, that should become easier. So then you get it out, and then we'll sort things out, and then we'll start rowing again. It's called catching a crab. You yell out crab, and then throw your body over. What you don't want to have happen is to have this thing come hit you like a baseball bat right in the chest. Okay, that can be rather painful. So, another command that we have in an emergency situation is throw oars. If we're coming up on pilings and the wind has caught us or the current has caught us and we've lost some control of the vessel, remember that this vessel is 30 feet wide when we have the oars out. So we may need to get real narrow real quick. And you may hear the command, throw oars. If you hear the command, throw oars, all you're going to do, you're generally going to hear it on one side. So you're going to hear throw oars starboard or throw oars port. When you hear that command, if you're on that side, you'll take your oar and you will throw it. They float. We'll come back and get it. Okay, we've got some extra oars on board. We'll come back and get it as necessary. But that's more important than that oar hitting a thwart when you got leverage action. And again, you got that baseball bat action hitting you in the chest and then cracking a rib or two. We try to avoid that whenever possible. If you forget which side of the boat you're on, throw your oar anyway. Okay?
Don't try to figure it out. It takes too long. Just throw it.
When you hear it, something bad is about to happen, and what we need, and it needs to happen quick. So don't think about it, just throw it. Okay? Hopefully not everybody will throw their oars. We'll have enough again to get around, to gather them back up again. Okay, another command that we have on occasion, we don't do this too often anymore, but we have the command to quarter oars. And the command quarter oars is we're going through a narrow situation and we just want to shorten up as much as we can, but we want to maintain control. So when we do quarter oars, we basically just pull the oar in as close as we can and we row short. Okay? Another situation when we really got to get narrow, you may hear the command point oars. When you hear the command point oars, you'll actually take the oar out of the oar lock and we'll use it basically like a paddle. We'll start paddling with our oars. That's point oars. Another important command, if we get to put the sail up, or if we anchor out, we're going to frog oars. Okay, when we frog oars, we're going to take them out of the water and we don't want to hold them anymore. We don't need them at the moment, but we want to have them ready in case we need them quickly. So when you hear the command frog oars, you'll hoist the oar out of the water, you're going to pull the oar in and pull it to the other side of the boat, basically. And let it rest on the other side of the boat. For those of you in the middle of the boat, if there are still oars, you want to put them underneath the oars. Okay, you want it at an angle. You don't want it to be, straight out. So if there's oars or things in your way, go underneath them, not over them. This is frog oars. Okay. Once we get back in, you're going to hear the command at some point, ship oars. Ship oars means that we're done with the oars, we're taking them out. There's two ways you can do this. Just like when we set oars, you can either pull it in all the way, again, trying not to hit the person next to you, like this, or the more common way is you just push it out, pull it over, and bring it, and then you put it to the ready position. This is ship oars. This is the full ship oars. And then finally, the last command is rack oars. When you hear the command rack oars, that means we're done. Put it away. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your oar and you're going to take the blade and you're going to put that to the front. All right? So that you drip on the crew and not on the officers. It's very important. So, rack oars. Set it down gently, trying again to hit as few as people as possible. And set it back on the thwarts. Okay, are there any questions? One last thing, did I say hand? No? Okay. One last thing is, again, the thwarts start from the back and go forward. Thwart 1 is the thwart closest to the back of the ship, to the stern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.